Hello there, fourth graders, and welcome to your next math lesson. Go ahead, open up your math notebook to the next available page and write the title of today's math lesson on that page. And that title is Quotients with Zeros. So, as you can tell from the title, quotients, we're going to be dividing today, and we're going to be doing long division today. You can tell that because the quotient is the answer to a division problem, and the with zeros parts means we're learning what to do in a very specific situation that often comes in the middle of a long division problem. So the easiest way to see what this lesson is about is just to do some example problems together. Go ahead and start with 214 divided by 2. Remember, the number in the den, that's the dividend. That's the number that's being divided into equal parts. And the number outside, that's the divisor. That's the number that divides into the dividend. And we use the steps divide, multiply, subtract, compare, bring down, repeat. And you can remember those steps with the silly sentence, dirty monkeys smell crazy bad. So we start with divide. Can 2 fit into 2? Yes, it can. So the first part of the quotient is going to go above that 2. Now, since 2 and 2 are the same number, that means 2 can fit into 2 exactly one time, because if you had 2 donuts and you were like, I'm going to separate these 2 donuts into equal groups of 2, well, you'd only be able to get one group of 2 donuts because you only have 2 donuts. So 2 can fit into 2 one time. Then we multiply. 1 times 2 is 2. Then we subtract. 2 minus 2 is 0. Then we compare. Is 0 smaller than 2? Since the answer is yes, it means that 1, that first part of the quotient, is correct. Then we bring down. We bring down this 1 next to the 0, and after we bring down, we go back to divide. Now, what do we divide? We divide the divisor into this new number that we've created here by subtracting and bringing down. Problem is we can't fit 2 into 1. If you have 1 donut and you say, I'm going to separate this 1 donut into equal groups of 2, you can't do that unless you're going to cut the donut into pieces. But you can't get equal groups of 2 whole donuts out of 1 donut. So 2 can't fit into 1 because 2 is bigger than 1, just like you can't fit your whole body into your shoe, because your whole body's bigger than your shoe. So you can't fit a bigger number into a smaller number. So since 2 can't fit into 1, this whole situation here is what today's entire lesson is about. What do? It seems like we've run into a brick wall. We can't proceed because we can't fit 2 into 1. Well, it's actually really easy. When you can't fit this number into this number, you say, yeah, 2 can fit into 1 0 times. So you put a 0 right there. That's it. That's today's whole lesson. When you can't fit this number into this number, you put a 0. 2 can fit into 1 0 times. Now we multiply. 0 times 2 is 0. Now we subtract. 1 minus 0 is 1. Now we compare. Is 1 smaller than 2? Yes. Now we bring down. We bring down the 4 next to the 1. And we go back to divide. How many times can 2 fit into 14? Well, if you know that 2 times 7 is 14, you know how many times 2 can fit into 14 7 times. But if you don't know that, you can use your times table chart. Look, you start at 2, you go to 14, and then it fits in 7 times. So 2 can fit into 14 7 times. If we multiply, 7 times 2 is 14. Then we subtract. 14 minus 14 is 0, and there's nothing left in the dividend that we can bring down, so the problem's finished. Can you guys hear that heavy rain out there? It's really loud. Okay, let's do another example. Let's say we have 327 divided by 3. Again, we follow the steps: divide, multiply, subtract, compare, bring down. Can 3 fit into 3? Yes, exactly one time. Now we multiply. 1 times 3 is 3. Now we subtract. 3 minus 3 is 0. Now we compare. Is 0 smaller than 3? Yes. So now we bring down the 2. And look, we're in that same situation again, because after we bring down, we're supposed to go back to divide, and we're supposed to divide this number, the 3, into this number, the 2. But can we fit 3 into 2? 3 is bigger than 2, so it can't fit into 2. You can't get equal groups of 3 cookies out of 2 cookies. So since 3 can't fit into 2, we say it can fit in 0 times. That's why this lesson is called Quotients with Zeros. Because when you can't fit this number into this number, you just put a 0 up here in the quotient. And then you just keep going. 0 times 3 is 0. Now we subtract. 2 minus 0 is 2. Now we compare. Is 2 smaller than 3? Yes, that means this 0 is correct. Now we bring down. We bring down the 7 next to the 2. We go back to divide, but now we're dividing 3 into 27. And again, if you know that 3 times 9 is 27, you know that 3 can fit into 27 9 times. But if you don't know that, look, you just go to 3, you go over to 27, and then you go straight up. 3 can fit into 27 9 times. So we put a 9 right here, because 3 can fit into 27 9 times. After we divide, we multiply. 9 times 3 is 27. Then we subtract. 27 minus 27 is 0. Then we compare. Is 0 smaller than 3? Yes. And the next step is bring down, but there's nothing left in the dividend that we can bring down. So that's how we know we're done, and the answer is 109. Okay, let's do another example. Let's say we have 5,452 divided by 5. Let's do a bigger one this time. Okay, we start with divide. Can 5 fit into 5? Yes, 1 time. So you put a 1 above the 5. Now we multiply. 1 times 5 is 5. Now we subtract. 5 minus 5 is 0. Now we compare. Is 0 smaller than 5? Yes, that's how we know this one is correct. Then we bring down. We bring down the 4 next to the 0. After we bring down, we go back to divide. Can 5 fit into 4? No, because 5 is bigger than 4. So we say 5 can fit into 4 0 times. Then we multiply. 0 times 5 is 0. Remember, anything times 0 is always 0. Then we subtract. 4 minus 0 is 4. Then we compare. Is 4 smaller than 5? Yes. Then we bring down the 5. After we bring down, we go back to divide. Now we're dividing 5 into 45. And if you know that 5 times 9 is 45, you know that 5 can fit into 45 9 times. But let's say you don't know that. You go to the 5, you go to 45, and you go straight up. It can fit in 9 times. Okay? So 5 can fit into 45 9 times. Then we multiply. 9 times 5 is 45. Then we subtract. 45 minus 45 is 0. We compare. Is 0 smaller than 5? Yes. So now we bring down the 2. After we bring down, we go back to divide, but now we're dividing 5 into 2. And can 5 fit into 2? No, because 5 is bigger than 2, so it can't fit into 2. So we say 5 can fit into 2 0 times. Then we multiply. 0 times 5 is 0. Then we subtract. 2 minus 0 is 2. Then we compare. Is 2 smaller than 5? Yes. The next step is bring down, but there's nothing left in the dividend that we can bring down. So we write our remainder, which is 2. So the answer is 1,090, remainder 2. Hopefully this lesson made sense to you today. Go ahead and do the quiz, which is attached under this video inside the Math Google Classroom. And I will catch you next time. This is Mr. Dauber signing off.